Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining today. We're going to talk a little bit about Actionstep Academy, and hopefully you'll find all this information very interesting. For our agenda, we're going to introduce the team to you. We're going to talk a little bit about Actionstep Academy, a little bit about the key benefits and some of the content. We will be talking about how you can best leverage Actionstep Academy in your day-to-day. And we also want to talk about what we're going to do next. So we have a lot of plans for how to continue to improve Actionstep Academy and make it really useful for all of our customers. And then Dakota is going to do a demo and show you a little bit about how it works. And we'll leave some time for questions if you guys have any. So I wanted to introduce, to start, your Actionstep Academy team. My name is Daniela Bohill. I'm the VP of Customers here at Actionstep. The rest of the Actionstep Academy team includes Dakota Martin, who's the Director of Customer Enablement, Kylie Mitchell, who's our Customer Enablement Specialist, and Robert Butler, who is our Content Enablement Specialist. Altogether, we have a combined 20 plus years of Actionstep experience, which makes us the perfect team to help make Actionstep Academy the best for you and your day-to-day. So Actionstep Academy, what is it really about? Well, we're really here to help customers get the most out of Actionstep. One of Actionstep's biggest benefits can also be one of its biggest challenges, and that is the fact that it is so customizable and so powerful. You can do so much with it. And so really, Actionstep Academy is what we are putting in place to try to make it a little bit less challenging and a little bit easier for you guys to get the most out of it. So Actionstep Academy is it's all about online continuous learning. It's free for Actionstep users, and it's for any experience level. We have content that can support a brand new Actionstep user, along with a super user that's been using for years. Actionstep Academy is built on SkillJar, which is a learning management system, and one that comes with a lot of powerful features and is used across multiple different software companies out there. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the key features. Actionstep Academy is accessible from anywhere, which is really great. You can basically learn at your own pace. So we worked really hard to make all of the content digestible. So you'll not get hour-long videos here. You're going to get little bite-sized videos with quizzes, lots of different ways that you can learn. We have a searchable, filterable library, lots of in-depth courses and paths to take so that you can, go from not knowing anything to knowing what you need to know. It's linked to our Actionstep Help Center. So we want to make sure that there's always synergy between Actionstep Academy and the Help Center and the content between both of those. And again, like I said, bite-sized learning modules, really, really important that this is something that you guys can do throughout your day. We know how important billable hours are for lawyers and law staff. And so we want to make sure that you can do little courses, and it's not going to be something that's going to take your whole day to complete. So I want to talk a little bit about the Academy content. We have over 100 videos and 20 courses right now on Actionstep Academy. That content is, we have videos, courses, and paths. We'll talk a little bit about that in the next slide. The content is text, video, PDFs, PowerPoint, and some interactive formats. We have knowledge checks for every piece of content that we have. And a lot of how-to videos and courses. We do some feature spotlights. And again, I want to just emphasize, we have beginner to advanced topics. So lots of different variation in terms of, the topics that will help a variety of different people who have different roles within your firm, learn and become more expert in Actionstep. So I wanted to talk a little bit, about the content and just talk a little bit about, the difference between a video course and a learning path. So, we have videos. So right here, you can see we have a payments webinar, we have a feature spotlight about email mailboxes, and then we have a video on how to configure multi-currency billing. So those are sort of standalone videos. Then we have courses. Courses will be comprised of more videos and content that create one course. So we'll have a course on how to create web forms, and it's going to have a variety of different pieces and parts to it. And then how to save time with email templates, marketing activities and campaigns. So in each case, these will be broken down. And again, you can do those courses over time. You don't have to do them all in one sitting. And then finally, we have learning paths. Right now, we have everyday user training 1 and 2, and that's really, your basic, how do I get Actionstep to work for me as an everyday user? That's going to be a learning path, which is going to consist of multiple courses. So again, all of this can be broken down and easily digestible, but just wanted to talk a little bit about the difference and how we try to build our content so that it can feed into, courses and learning paths, so you can sort of track your progress as you learn more and more about Actionstep. So, we say this a lot, why Actionstep Academy? Well, again, as we know, very, very customizable, very, very complicated system sometimes. And Actionstep Academy can really help you and your firm with a lot of different things. You can learn about the Actionstep product and services. You can discover a process that you do one way, but you can see it being done another way, and that might save you time and energy. You can explore advanced configurations, so different ways of setting up the system. Stay updated with new features. It's great for onboarding new team members. We know that is a real time suck sometimes, so great to have that in your back pocket. And it's great because you can provide feedback to us. So I wanted to talk a little bit about what's next up for Actionstep Academy, because we are constantly working to make improvements and continue to grow this. We really feel like it's a powerful feature for us to have. So we are going to implement customer feedback. That is really exciting. We want to be able to learn as much as we can from you guys on what you want to see and what works and what doesn't. We're going to start to put in some certifications. We want to be able to, connect Actionstep Academy with the content and certifications that you guys need anyway, and try to make that as seamless a process as possible. We're going to do some expanded prescriptive learning, and just generally work on our Actionstep learning ecosystem. We are doing some advanced usability and discovery. And finally, we have committed to adding new content to the Academy every week this year. And we are on track. So we have been adding content every week so far, and that is going to be our goal for the coming weeks. So I wanted to just give you guys an opportunity here to click the pop-up that's going to show up on your screen. It will take you directly to the Actionstep Academy sign-up page, and you can start your learning right away. So I would love to see a lot of people clicking on this. And obviously, we are, after this sign-up pop-up goes away, we're going to have Dakota jump in and do a demo so you can see more than just screenshots how Actionstep Academy is looking and working for you. All right.
Excellent. Well, while you're clicking through, I just want to mention a couple notes about signing up. The click-through will automatically populate the access code in there. If you have any trouble with that, let us know in the chat. It also will look for your Actionstep organization key. Where to find that, I'll show you when I start sharing my screen here. And it will require an email address. And for that, please use your Actionstep email address. We compare that to the org key to make sure that people are users of Actionstep. Actionstep Academy is free with your Actionstep subscription. So that's how we check that. Lovely. Got a message of someone all signed up. Um, we'll give that just a couple more minutes while that banner is there, a little bit longer, and then I'll go ahead and jump into sharing a little bit about Actionstep Academy, a little more. All right, I'll go ahead and jump into it. Let's see. All right. I see a question in the chat about the org key. So I do want to mention, if you are in your Actionstep system, you can find your organization key up here by hovering over the menu here and seeing organization key. Mine in this case is org.com, so you can copy that and paste that in the sign up form. And then once you have signed up, it'll take you directly to the home page of Actionstep Academy. That looks like this. So let's just run down the screen a little bit of the navigation, and then we'll go through some of the content that we can access there. So the top of the nav bar, this will bring you back to the home screen, everywhere that is. This will bring you over to Actionstep Help Center, so you can take a look at our user guide, and this will bring you to your Actionstep login page. Going down the page a little more, we have this button to full catalog here, which is our just a complete catalog of all of our content that you can get in there and search and filter. So it's probably a good place to go if you're looking for something. The other great place to go if you're looking for something is the search bar up here, which does search all of our content. On the page, we have 7 tiles that categorize our learning content. This first row is kind of specific for the audience. So this featured section is our new and popular learning content. Go ahead and click into there. And that's just a quick run of about 10 things that are new. And that gets integrated to the rest of the catalog. The everyday use section is for the things you do every day in Actionstep. And we can kind of show that here. We have things about logging in and navigating and matters and contacts and tasks and all the basic and major modules of Actionstep and how your everyday user who may not be an admin would interact with those things. Moving to the admin and customization, this is where we have all the courses and videos and paths that require admin either like authority or access to be able to do what's contained within those courses and videos. And then our accelerate section is beyond that, has a lot of webinar and a lot of webinars from some of our guest speakers who have come on to talk about some of their products or some of the ways they do business, as well as advanced topics like document assembly or custom data and ways to configure those that maybe aren't as typical, or things like the API and that sort of things. So we have categories that kind of span anywhere you might be in your Actionstep journey. If you want to just jump into the catalog, we have a browse section where you can look at the full catalog. You can look at just courses or just videos and drill down into those things. So let's do a little bit of drilling down how you might discover some content in Academy. So if we look up tasks, for instance, on the taskbar here, we get a really simple page that will show us all the results. You'll notice some of the icons are different. If we go to the top, we have some filters here where we can filter out the different types. These types here without an image are contained within courses. So you can filter those out. Those are the lessons. And then everything else that is courses and videos aren't differentiated in this filter, and that's under the courses, so you can filter those out. The paths are these learning paths, and there are currently no plans. Going back to the home page here, we'll go into the full catalog and show how we can find what we need there. So in the full catalog, it's a page of the content on Academy and a search and filtering system. So this will search this page here. So if I were looking for like email templates, I'll look up template. I know I want email templates and say I couldn't see that. I can use an additive filter here, or that's actually a subtractive filter. And then if I use other ones, they do add to it. So if I wanted to see stuff about documents too in my return here, if I go to a different section, that does become a subtractive filter to only show me things that match that. So going into the homepage again, I want to go through the everyday use section just to show some content that we have in there, really outline these learning paths. Um, you heard Daniela talk about prescriptive learning, and the idea behind that is that it's a bit of learning content that has a purpose behind it. And the thing we have right now that has a lot of purpose is this everyday use section and some of the things contained within, because it's really a thought about how your everyday users interact with Actionstep. So it's actually a tool for you and for your teams to get in front of and kind of learn all of those basic functions to get going really quickly with Actionstep. And how we do that is with some learning paths. So we can filter for those learning paths, and we have part 1 and 2 of everyday training. So when I go into part 1, I'm already registered. I'm 4 out of 7 completed, and I can see my status there on those things. I'll go back to part 2, which I'm not yet registered for, and show you what that will look like. So when you get to a learning path or a course, you'll have a register option, and that'll add it to your student profile. So I'll go ahead and register here. And now I'm into it. So I can resume, and that'll bring me directly into the beginning of the learning path and bring me to the first course. In this case, I'm learning about list views. And once Natasha has taught me all about list views, I can go on to make sure I understood all of that by doing a knowledge check and then getting through to the complete course. At the point that that's complete, you'll be able to see that in your profile here. In your profile, you'll have the ability to change some of your basic user settings, as well as see your past registrations and completions. And you'll also be able to control some notifications that might come out as part of those courses that we've set up to notify people of other resources or reminders and that sort of thing. And that's Academy, and it's there to dig into and discover. But before I hand it back over to Danielle, I do want to point out at the very bottom, this really tiny thing is our little feedback form here, which I believe will come out in this a webinar as well. But if you do find that, if you get around Academy and you, there it is. If you do get around Academy and you have any suggestions or feedback, if there's something you want out of it, something that doesn't look right to you, or something that could be better, anything at all, just please let us know. And that's Actionstep Academy. Back to you, Daniela.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dakota. Yes, I just wanted to address, we've had a couple of questions about this. There will be a recording, and you guys will all get the recording of this as well. And then I know there've been some requests for, links to the sign up so that you can get your staff signed up. We will make sure we get that over to everyone here as well. And so again, this is the feedback for Actionstep Academy. If you have any, we'd love to hear from you right now as this pop-up is on your screen. And then otherwise, want to just open up the floor for any questions that you guys might have that you would like us to try to address. We can always try to address them here. Otherwise, we can follow up with you with the answers as they come. So yeah, any questions? So it looks like there's a question, Dakota, about whether there is any training currently on KPIs.
I'm not entirely certain that they're not mentioned, but there is not an explicit one on KPIs. That's a great suggestion.
It's a great suggestion. So that would be great to put into the feedback pop up here. So, again, one of the things that we're doing, we've tried to start with, everyday user, try to make sure that we're putting content in that covers the largest swath of users. But we will definitely be adding more. I think absolutely admin account functions, sort of more super user level of training we will definitely get to. And so, yes, I think that is something that we will end up doing. There is a question on whether there is training on merge fields. And I know Dakota is very big on merge fields. So I imagine that if there isn't training now, there will be. So Dakota, do you want to speak to that?
Absolutely. There isn't an explicit merge fields training as of yet. There is a lot of information about merge fields within the document templates training and the email templates training. So depending upon what you're using those merge fields for, one of those might be the best solution for you.
So one of the questions that I wanted to display to everyone is someone asked, Jamie asked, you mentioned that Actionstep Academy and the help portion of Actionstep are not the same. Can you explain that, please? I would start by saying that the Actionstep Academy and the help section are connected and coordinated. So the goal is to make sure that we don't have information in one that is contradicted by information in the other. But the way that we think about it is that the help center is there when something isn't working. So you're trying to solve a problem. You go to the help center to solve the problem. Whereas Actionstep Academy is really about learning. And while you might go there to learn something, to do something specifically, it's much more built to be something that you're constantly going to keep learning and growing and taking your learning paths. Dakota, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, the biggest delineation between the two things are for the format nature of it. It's like with Action Step Academy, it's easy for us to demonstrate the concepts that are really well communicated by demonstrating them. Whereas our help center is where we can keep text reference and instruction and explaining our product and our services and some methods for troubleshooting and specific questions and that sort of thing.
All right, I have one more question here that I wanted to ask live, which is there a way to assign certain courses to our staff that we would like them to complete within the system?
There is not currently a way to do that. And that is something we would like to implement when we can, as we expect that, managers and that sort will use those everyday user training courses to teach their teams. So we'll try to get some insight into that when we can.
Yeah. Okay. All right. There was a question about certifications. So can you talk a little bit more about the certifications that will be coming down the line?
Certainly. We're getting it pretty deep into mapping out certifications now. So it's a bit about the different things that people need to do and be adept at to do efficiently to really get value out of that, and how we have a system where we can train and check that knowledge in one go, so we can certify for that. And that has implications for our team and how we have insight into our customers, of like what they're good at and what they know and what they're interested in and what seems valuable for that.
Would love to get any feedback on what might be interesting in the pop-up on screen right now. All right, let's see. Let's see. All right, there are a couple of more specific questions that we will address directly with you guys after this webinar, but really, really appreciate all of the questions and interaction and engagement from all of you. Again, my name is Daniela Bohill. I'm the Vice President of Customers here, and Dakota is our Director of Customer Enablement. And our small but mighty enablement team are here to help make sure that you can get the most out of Actionstep, whether that is through Actionstep Academy, the user guide, other content, and we'd love to hear from you. So keep the feedback coming, and we will talk to you soon.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.